long time ago, I met him in Monterey, in old Mexico. Stars and steel guitars and luscious lips as red as wine broke somebody's heart, and I'm afraid that it was mine. It happened in Monterey without thinking twice. I left him and threw away the key to paradise. My indiscreet heart longs for the sweetheart that I left in old Monterey. It happened in Monterey a long time ago. I met him in Monterey, in old Mexico. Stars and steel guitars and luscious lips as red as wine broke somebody's heart, and I'm afraid that it was mine. It happened in Monterey without thinking twice.
Hello, I'm Mark Baer. You're watching the YourTown television show. I'm with Lillian Barbeito, founder of the Carmel Dance Festival. Welcome.
Thank you, Mark. It's so nice to see you again, to be here.
So you've come in and you've done, and the Carmel Dance Festival, which when we first talked was a concept, is now a reality.
It happened, and then some.
It happened and then some, and it was magnificent, and you're mind-blowing how much work you've done. And so kind of give a summary of where we are.
Sure, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been an absolute joy and a whirlwind. And so my husband Grant and I, we founded the Carmel Dance Festival. We launched it in July with Ballare Dance Theater, which is a contemporary ballet company based in Chicago. And they just blew us away with their talent. They did 4 performances, 2 evening shows where we had the dances paired with wine and charcuterie. And then the matinees, we had baked goods and coffee. And so people were not just seeing this world-class dance, but able to enjoy great food and beverage and community.
Just at the Sunset Center.
It was at the Sunset Center. We built a massive stage outside in the parking lot, so it was all COVID friendly, if you will. And during that time, they weren't just here for the performances. We had a free community class for all ages and abilities. We also had a master class on stage for experienced dancers. And after the performances, 2 of the dancers stayed to do a week-long workshop. So Ballare was here not just for classes, but a full immersion into the community. So that was it. I think we started with a bang.
Well, full immersion is kind of your thing, which I didn't quite realize. You know, when I first met you, and you're going to put on the shows, and you're going to do this, I didn't realize the depth of what it is. You're teaching, you're mentoring, you're keeping the dance world alive in a big, very ambitious way.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, we want it to be accessible, and I think that it's one thing to see an amazing performance, but then when you actually get to interact with the artists, have conversations, or to dance yourself, then the impact is greater and it lasts longer.
Let's just fill the audience a little about yourself. You know, your background, how you came to be here.
Well, I'm a Gemini. No, just kidding. So I grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I started dancing when I was 5, and then I attended the Juilliard School, where I fell in love with dance theater and contemporary dance. Had a brief career in Europe, but really came back to New York, and then eventually to LA, where I founded Body Traffic with Tina Finkelman Burkett. So it's been dance since I was 5 years old. Yeah. I love it.
And this is really, really, really ambitious, and that's the most exciting thing about this. It's I think, you know, I've seen the shows and I was blown away, and I think everybody there was blown away. by the sheer ambition of it, and also you're bringing something. I don't know that I know I speak for myself. I didn't realize where dance theater was, what it can be, and how what a magnificent art form it is. Because I'm not. I think I'm exposed to everything, but I'm not, and that is the way it is for most people. And it was just the level of the artistry was first class, and bringing that to Carmel is exceptional.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you have a newfound appreciation for dance theater specifically, because that is one thing that Carmel Dance Festival wants to do, is tell stories that are relatable and invigorating for people to watch. Mm-hmm.
So now, so what's next? Where you've launched, and now where are you?
So after the launch of the festival, Carmel Dance Festival commissioned a new work for a brand new company called Ballare Carmel, which means to dance Carmel. And we engaged a choreographer based in Europe, actually specifically in Zurich, who is just a divine human being and an incredible artist. And he came and he made a duet, and he collaborated with a local artist that has blown my mind.
Yeah.
With Mr. Mark Baer. And so it was truly, I think, collaboration at its finest, where we have an esteemed choreographer working with a prolific local artist who is working on the dramaturgy. So Mark did the dramaturgy and the paintings for this piece, and the dancers had the time of their lives, and we told a story that charmed people. I think the audience was really entertained, but it had a deeper level to it as well. So I think it tugged on their heartstrings a bit.
Yeah, and it was really, so it is, don't end up in the pine cone, honey.
That was the title of the work.
That was the title of the piece, and it, Isan found it. It was about Dave Potter's speech to the City Hall about inclusiveness. And that was the touch point of the piece. So it was so interesting that somebody from outside found this in Switzerland and decided this was the core of what he wanted to say, and then was able to break it into language to say it. So it was miraculous for me to watch somebody like that. And you see this all the time. I think it was pretty miraculous for you. Watch how
the collaboration to see artists coming together and who don't know each other, and then making a piece of art. So that was your initial question, was what's next? And what's next is we love that piece, and we feel like it can be developed. So we're going to expand it from a duet to a group piece, and I think the running time was about 18 minutes, so it will be half of an evening. So we're hoping that you'll give us a few more paintings so we can fill the bigger stage.
Yeah, you'd have to lock me out of the door.
So that's what's next, is expanding that piece and commissioning new work as well.
I want to talk about what else I saw with at Hidden Valley with Peter Meckel, and again the events that went on that week. With the training, with the kids coming from all over the country, with you really are raising another generation, and that's really interesting. And that mentoring is part of your core mission.
It absolutely is. I've been teaching. I started teaching when I was 15, and prior to moving to Carmel, I was a professor of dance at Loyola Marymount University for over a decade. So teaching is just in my bones, and I actually don't feel satisfied unless I'm giving back to the community, and as you're saying, bringing the next generation of dancers up. So Carmel Dance Festival, in effort to support Ballare Carmel, we had an audition at Hidden Valley Music Seminars that was based in really partnering because of the pandemic, people haven't been able to be in close proximity. The dancers were vaccinated and they were wearing masks, but we spent an entire week partnering, which was just so refreshing.
And people are coming from all over the world.
Yes, we had people coming in from Singapore, from Canada, from across the United States, and throughout that, but it didn't feel like an audition where people were being judged by their skills. We really were having it be a room and an atmosphere where people were being embraced and empowered for who they were. And I set the tone with, you're all wonderful and amazing, and thank you for being here. We will end up engaging some of you, within the next week for the next performance, but we want to stay in touch with everybody. It's community. So instead of dancers having a competitiveness where they're vying for the same jobs,
it was very cooperative.
Exactly, trying to help each other. So it was a workshop and an audition, and then 4 dancers were hired to stay on for the performance the following week. So yeah, it was pretty fabulous.
What else I saw was that you encouraged everybody to have their own dance language, because you had a real variety of people.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw them perform, there was all kinds of. It was just a mix of what the language that they brought, dance language.
Not only a mix in their movement vocabulary and their dance backgrounds, but it was an intergenerational experience. So you had, I think that there was a dancer who was in high school. The bulk of the participants were college or early professional, but we had seasoned professional dancers as well in the room, which I love to see that intergenerational participation, because it's highly beneficial for the young dancers to see the older dancers with their artistry, and vice versa, the older dancers seeing the chutzpah of the and the courage and the energy of the younger dancers. So it was really wonderful.
The audience was absolutely blown away. And again, I want to give a shout out to Peter Meckel for just his encouragement, and for he said it's one of the greatest things that he's ever seen there, which is saying a lot.
That is saying a ton.
Yeah, that was really he was just mesmerized by it all, as everybody in the audience, and so just those days were magnificent.
Yeah, Peter has been an incredible guide to the Carmel Dance Festival, and he's really revered in the community. And I think every time he would step in for either a rehearsal or performance, and he would share just this morsel that everything that comes out of his mouth is profound, and everybody just gets really quiet. So we really everybody respects Peter and the history of Hidden Valley, and we're so thrilled that he's believed in us and given us a chance to occupy that space and bring some dance to it.
Yeah, it's so your future building this. How's the community reach out been, and what do you need from people, and what's how do they find you? Let's get all the details in, so we can yak at the end. Let's get the business done.
So the launch of the festival was at the Sunset Center, and then we commissioned a work and we previewed it at Hidden Valley, and we wanted to do something that was free. So actually our very next offering is a workshop in December. So we're offering a workshop from December 12th. And there's a free public performance on December 17th at 6 p.m. And what we're offering is Embodiology, which is a codified movement system by Dr. S. Amare, who is a professor down at UCI. And she became fascinated with jazz music and was so curious about what jazz musicians do, and wanted to figure out if there was a way to transfer that experience to dancers. So her doctorate and her research has been to take what jazz musicians do and have dancers learn it. And so it's going to be a week of structured improvisation with live music. And we're bringing up a percussionist from LA, Monty Ellison.
Oh, wow.
And so the performance is going to be the result of this studying of Embodiology for 5 days. And it's free, it's open to the public, we're going to have a reception. So it's basically a big dance party at the end.
So it's so interesting what a fluid art form this is. It's not a, I don't know, people think dance is a structured thing, and it's really alive and fresh and so vital. I mean, that's what's...
It is. I think that that misconception, of course there is the discipline in the technique and in the artistry, and I think that people think that is structured maybe from classical ballet, and yes, there is still that rigor.
Yes, the
but
rigor's
there's
there.
freedom in how to program things and how to involve people. So people can get involved by coming and participating and dancing with us, either in a workshop or being an audience member. And of course, we would be so grateful for any donations. And of course, they can donate via our website, which is www.carmeldancefestival.org.
So that's, okay, we've done our business. So how do you like living here? So this is, you not only have started this, but you have 2 children, 2 boys, you've picked up from LA, you're coming into the community, into a new community that's, and done all this. So you've just moving up here and getting the kids to school would have been like overwhelming for most people.
Well, it was, it's a lot to move. I think anybody who has moved knows that it takes quite a bit to box up your things and to relocate. So there was that, but we knew that what there was at the end of all of that effort was living in heaven on earth.
Yeah. And you're enjoying it so far.
Oh, we absolutely love it. The schools are wonderful, the people, and there's so much art and fabulous things happening here.
Yeah. So your surprise and expectations have been met so far.
Yes, when we were coming up from LA to vacation, we were surveying people and asking, what should we do if and when we move here? How can we contribute to the community? And many people said we need more things to do, especially for families. So I had the notion that coming here it was going to be quiet, but I find that there's something to do every single night of the week, whether it's going to see live music, going to a fabulous wine tasting. I mean, there's seems to be a ton happening.
Yeah, just talk about that for a second, last week that you did.
Oh, yes. So Carmel Dance Festival was invited to perform at the Big Sur Food and Wine Festival, and it was the most amazing, rather spontaneous dance happening for us. It was on a bluff overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Krug champagne was there and caviar. So people were coming down, having a glass of wine, and then when they got to the location, they heard a fiddle master, Edwin Huizinga, with a Ballare Carmel apprentice, Tanaya Long, and she was performing, and then they had champagne, caviar, dance, violin. It was just absolutely a sublime experience.
Yeah.
No. It's absolutely dreamy.
So and your arrival has certainly enriched my life, and it's an amazing place. I'm a big booster of where we are, but I think it's true where we are.
Oh, we're here to stay. We absolutely love Carmel and Monterey County.
Okay, with that we can leave. I'm Mark Baer. I'm with Lillian Barbeito, and you're watching YourTown Television, and we're out of here.